guys, welcome to Cigar Church, where our love for Jesus and our passion for cigars come together. And we're here in our lounge once again, and we've got us a special guest, good old boy,
Barger.
Mr. Barger.
Yep, that's right.
Mr. Barger. I keep wanting to call him Burger. I'm hungry.
Thanks
it's
a lot,
one of those days. Yeah, Barger. That's Barger. We met, 2 years ago at Smokelahoma.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we ran into each other at PCA this year.
That's right.
He was in town. He hit us up. We happened to be recording this weekend, so we threw him on the show.
That's
right. Man, how you been doing?
I've been awesome, man. This year's been really good. Honestly, a really encouraging year. I started my own electrical company.
Oh,
back
good for
home.
you. Good for you.
And it's been a challenging year, but a good year. God's been good.
Cool.
You know, no complaints.
Good deal, brother.
Yeah.
One of the first things we like to do on the show is talk about what we're smoking. So,
yeah.
Brother, what are you smoking?
Well, I am smoking the Tabernacle CT Connecticut Broadleaf Goliath Perfecto.
Yeah, that's a great cigar. Great cigar.
This cigar is awesome.
Very cool. This
cigar is awesome.
Dan, what do you got?
I have got the Big Sky Blackfoot. This is one that we actually had gotten at PCA. Had an interview with them that we'll show here in a few minutes. But I just started on it, so I'll give you some.
So you V-cut it? That's the same thing I'm smoking.
Do a V-cut.
So, we'll talk about those in a second. But you got something special over there, Steve.
This is the Big Sky Cryptid, recommended by our good friend right here. So we'll see what it's all about.
That's their limited edition one. That's
It's San Andreas wrapper, I believe, and
it's
tobacco's
a
Nicaraguan.
Yeah, it's a fun stick for sure.
Yeah. Well, cool. So we'll evaluate these as we get going with the episode, just kind of see how they're smoking. Tell us about what you got going with your podcast, your radio show, all the other stuff you got going.
So I run the cigar portion for Sip, Suds, and Smokes podcast. As we like to say, everything in life good is worth discussing.
Absolutely.
So we like to have good conversations, smoke good cigars, and give you our honest reviews of it. So we review alcohol, coffee, and tobacco.
Awesome.
So we've got 3 teams that take care of it, and man, our teams are just top-notch people.
Cool.
And we just have a lot of fun, man.
So you got one team for each of those. So you got a specialist in coffee, specialist in cigar,
Yep, so I run the cigar portion. I've got 6 guys that I can rotate out and cast members. And then there's our beer portion is run by a husband and wife. And they are just Dave and Juliana.
Okay.
They are awesome. And then good old boy Bob, or as he likes to call it, self-made Bob, is our spirits guy out in Fort Lauderdale.
Cool. Very cool.
And then our executive, he does the coffee, but he's on all the episodes sometimes. So, but it's a lot of fun, man. We've been going about 14 years. We've got all kinds of awards. Last year we got inducted into the Hall of Fame in Beverly Hills.
Nice.
Wow.
So that was pretty fun.
You're too uppity for us.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say I didn't get inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well,
the podcast did.
And you were saying before we went live, how many countries are you guys in?
6 countries that I know of right now, probably more. We're about 6 million listeners a week. Yeah, man, it's awesome. We're on about 2,400 radio channels.
You just edged us out by a little bit with that 6 million. But,
you're about to. If all goes well, you're about to get our listeners.
That'd be amazing.
I hope you get our listeners, man.
We're actually in the description. We're going to put a link to his podcast and his show. We want to make sure that you guys out there that watch our show go watch his, and we'd love for some of you guys over there to come and watch our show.
It's probably way more boring than this show.
I don't know about that. There's some days we're just sitting here smoking cigars and expecting people to listen to our rambles.
That's awesome. That's my favorite part.
Listen, speaking about rambling, here's something I want to talk about today, and this has been on my heart for a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's starting to bother me. We opened our lounge up here. I work at 2nd Street in Edmond, Oklahoma, 2nd Street Cigar Company, and I've got to take care of the lounge there as well. Lounge etiquette, guys. What are your thoughts on lounge etiquette? Because I've got some really strong opinions after being in the industry for 5 years now, and having to clean up after a whole bunch of slobs in the industry. What are some of your pet peeves, some of your thoughts on lounge etiquette?
I hate the entitlement.
Oh my gosh.
When people come in,
we're throwing blows right out the bat here, guys.
I travel all over, and I go every city, town I'm in. I find a cigar shop and I go to it. And even if I brought cigars, I spend money in the lounge to support the lounge.
Yeah.
Don't come into a lounge and bring your box of cigars. I brought my box today, but before I leave, I'll be purchasing cigars from your guys' lounge.
Awesome.
To help support,
That's
because
right.
that's what we do. When you bring your cigars into a lounge and you order a soda and you're there for 6-7 hours smoking your cigars, well, you're just taking up real estate.
Yeah.
And now people that come in don't have places to sit, especially when you spread out and there's 4 or 5 of you together.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone's brought their own cigars.
Yeah.
You know, at least some shops introduce cut fees.
So at our shop up there in Edmond, we have a $10 minimum that if you don't buy at least $10 in cigars, which is one cigar these days,
Right.
You just don't get access to the lounge because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's a smaller lounge up there, you know, maybe a dozen or more seats.
Yeah.
And you get 2 or 3 guys like that, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or the ones that show up to events only.
Yeah, the event only
your free
guys.
stuff and just
Yeah, and then bounce. Yeah.
like the Easter Christmas at church.
Yeah, it's that's right. The event cigar smokers are the Christmas and Easter churchgoers. Yeah, I never put that together, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
Dan, what's your one of your pet peeves in the lounge?
You know, I mean, I think just not cleaning after yourself. It amazes me sometimes, you know, somebody will, you know, we have glassware and stuff like that. People bring in their own drinks and beverages and stuff, and sometimes they'll pull the glassware out of the cabinet. That's great. I mean, that's what it's there for. But yeah, just wash it when you're done.
Dirty a
you know,
cup,
I mean,
wash a cup.
it's simple. It's not hard. We have a drying rack. I don't even care if you put it in the cabinet. Just, you know,
Put it on
wash
the
it and put it in the drying rack. You know, that makes it easy to toss that back in the cabinet. It's just a courtesy thing to, you know, to everybody involved, right? I mean, if everybody did that, the kitchen would be a mess.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have any glassware when you came in.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a lounge full of teenagers sometimes. You know.
Feels that way sometimes, yeah.
What about you, Steve? What's your pet peeve?
Well, that was it.
That was it? Did he nail it?
No, the events.
Oh, the event stuff. Okay. I thought you were just
have
throwing
one
that out
pet
there.
peeve?
Oh,
That's your only
I don't
one.
want to get too critical.
Let's rip that band
Well, yeah, let's just take it off because I've got about 6.
Yeah, I'll keep
Well, you work
going.
at the second. You probably picked them all up there.
No, actually, at the previous lounge is where most of those came up.
we
We're
don't
not
speak
gonna-
of?
the lounge that does not get named. No, my 2 or 3 really big ones working in a lounge. Number one is if you fill up an ashtray, dump it yourself.
Yeah.
Most places, like over here, you can't see what I'm pointing at, but we got a big copper pot that you can dump your ashes in.
Should name it Oswald.
There you go. That's Oswald over there. It just got a name. We're going to put a label on it. At 2nd Street, we got one of the big Mr. Stinkies, you know, that everybody dumps in. But if you fill it up and nobody's come around to dump it, just go ahead and dump it. And don't ash all over the table around it or ash in the floor. That drives me nuts. But lately, my biggest pet peeve, man, and it's driving me nuts, and I'm having to you know, pray about my attitude about this because it's been a little serious.
Yeah.
Is people going in the walk-in humidor and not shutting the door.
Okay.
Dang it, dude, the door was shut when you came in. Shut it when you know what I'm saying? They just leave it wide open. And this time of year, especially with how dry it is outside, you leave that door open for a couple minutes and it's trouble. I mean, of course it's going to get rehumidified, but that sucker's got to work overtime to get there. And it's just frustrating me. You go in, just shut the door behind you in the walk-in humidor, man.
So how do you feel about? Well, obviously, people weren't raised in the South.
Right.
Grandma, you born in a barn?
Right.
You're right, Grandma. Sorry.
I'm gonna start yelling that out.
Yeah,
man.
that's right. That's right. You born in a barn, man. Shut the damn door.
Exactly.
But no, one of the things I hate, and when I go into humidors, and I see that people have done this, and the staff doesn't correct it, I'll typically help them out. But if people go in there and they'll pick out 3 or 4 sticks.
Karen.
No, I'm not a Karen. I'm definitely not a Karen. I don't tell them I'll do it. But like when people pick up 4 or 5 sticks and they see something else and they put that stick in the wrong box.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
And then they grab the other stick they want, and then you're like, well, what's the price of that cigar? Because now I want that one. Now I got to find it.
Yeah.
You know, and so
Or the ones not in wrappers and they kind of get their hands
all over it.
yeah. Or number one for me, okay? is when they pick up a cigar in a wrapper and they go,
Yep.
That plastic.
"Oh, that smells good. That's a good
Yeah,
cigar
that plastic
right
smells
there."
great, don't
My
it? That cellophane,
goodness.
man.
My goodness.
Yeah. There's times where you just, when you're working in the lounge, you just have to chuckle and not say anything sometimes because it just, I don't know.
Smiling with
I don't
it.
know.
Does that wrapper smell good?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
and that's kind of funny. You know, you see it on TV, right?
Yeah.
Or movies. You know, people, you know, they sniff that fine cigar and they're like, oh, that's going to be a good one. It's like, you're just smelling the wrapper.
Yeah, and
It's like
we've
you
talked
can't
about that.
Get any notes of anything. Now,
Yeah.
you do a dry draw, that's completely different. But you're not going to sit there and dry draw a cigar in here.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about that on the show, where when you have it out of the cellophane, the scent that you get off of the wrapper is
It's one
one
leaf.
thing, but it's only one leaf of the whole thing. If you really want the best scent of it, smell that foot.
Yeah.
You know. But anyways, I mean, we could go on and on for hours about irritants in the lounge. In the comments, man, put what you've seen in the lounge that drove you nuts. That, you know, whatever violation of lounge etiquette you've seen. The other one, you know, this one, I'll throw this one out there real quick before we wrap this segment up. People trying to bring kids into the cigar lounge.
Yeah. They'll
You
do
know,
that.
there are state laws. There are, you know, different. Every state's a little bit different, but don't bring your little kid into the lounge or into even the shop and let them run around. I mean, there's just too much valuable stuff and all that. And we've told people to well, no, they're not allowed to come in here, and they get pissed at us and leave and not buy anything. You know what? I don't care. You know, somebody else will buy that cigar you're
That's
about
right.
to get. So
We don't need that $10.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
that fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, put in the comments what your pet peeves are in the cigar lounge. I mean, there's a bunch of them we haven't talked about that are big ones, like talking about politics or religion in the lounge, people answering the phone in the lounge. Whatever yours is, put it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Don't you hate that when somebody's
Especially when they're on speakerphone.
speakerphone
Yeah,
And they're loud.
yelling? Yep,
Oh my
yep.
gosh.
I hate
I
that.
came here to relax. Just shut up.
So that's in the lounge. Here's a question. The reason we really wanted to bring this up, it's no secret. I'm a pastor of a church. We talk about that all the time on here.
Scientology, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Me and Tom Cruise, man, we're tight. But no, what about etiquette in the church?
Yeah.
What about etiquette in the church? Because I've worked in some really traditional churches, and I'm going to tell a really painful story here in just a second, but I've worked in some really traditional churches, and there's sometimes expectations, like when you come into a cigar lounge, expectations of what to wear, how to act when you come into church. What are some of those things that you guys have seen in churches? And you were talking a second ago about your family heritage in churches, and if you want to throw some of that out or not, that's totally cool. But
You know, I grew up a pastor's kid. My dad's a pastor. My grandfather is a Pentecostal pastor. Still to this day, 85, still a Pentecostal pastor. And he's awesome. That man raised me, and that I have nothing but absolute respect for my grandfather.
That's awesome.
But, you know, there's a lot of things that we'd get backhanded or, you know, growing up Pentecostal is a struggle. Let's just put it that way.
it is. Yeah.
You know, because everything you do is wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you're always getting corrected by people, and you're like, what'd I do now?
Yeah.
So especially as like a kid with ADHD like myself growing up, you know, and being ginger. So it's like a double whammy, you know. I'm like the redheaded stepchild of the group, you know. But man, a lot of times it's like what people wear, you know. I hate to say there's a dress code because, you know, Bible talks about, you know, like you were mentioning, bring us all who are weary.
Yep.
Bring everybody in, come into me, right? But there's also verses that talk about being a distraction. And so when you got loud clothes on, you know, you're a sore thumb in that group right there. Not that you're bad or you're any less than anyone, because you're not. Everybody's equal.
Yeah.
Right. But it's hard sometimes to hear a message when you're being distracted.
Yeah.
Especially, women in skimpy clothing.
Sure.
That's the big thing for us fellas.
Right.
Women in skimpy clothing. They're like, I'm trying to listen to the Lord, but there's breasts.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's one of the biggest struggles is knowing the balance between having a come as you are approach, because we want the random guy that the Holy Spirit's led to walk in the door, to be able to walk in the door, exactly as they are.
Right.
High, drunk, beat up, homeless, whatever, right? We want them to be able to come in the door exactly as they are, but also there is a sense of, are we respecting the other people there, and are we respecting God with how we dress when we come in?
Yeah.
And that was the big thing at my church in Texas, and this is the story I wanted to tell. I started in ministry as a youth pastor back in 2001 down in south of Houston, Texas, and this church that I was at was the oldest church in Galveston County, Texas. And I'm not going to mention its name, but just saying that, you could probably figure out what church it was. Wonderful people, amazing, godly people, love the church to this day, but they were very old school. I mean, super old school. I had to wear khakis and a button up every day with my shirt tucked in, and a fat guy that don't go well. I had a clean shaved, all this type of stuff. So the youth group started growing, and this church ran maybe 150 people. And when the youth group got over 100 people in just the youth group, we had to move into the sanctuary on Wednesday nights for our youth program. So we were doing worship in the sanctuary. Well, these young men would come in after football practice in their tank tops and shorts and ball caps and smelling like they came from football practice. And we had this little old lady that couldn't have been 90 pounds come walking in one Wednesday night and started yanking the hats off of all these big, 300-pound lineman football players and throwing them on the ground and pointing her finger in their face and yelling and, not in the Lord's sanctuary, and all this. And
smack an old lady.
It took a lot in me not to, because those were my kids, man. And I did pull her aside and say, look, I understand what your point is, because for her it was a disrespect of the sanctuary. And I had to explain to her, I said, these young men that you did that to, their families for 3, 4, 5 generations haven't stepped foot in church. And I don't care if they're out there smoking in the parking lot, and they're coming to church and learning about Jesus. We'll deal with those things later. Right. Not saying it wasn't an important issue. It just wasn't the issue that needed to be dealt with that day. You know what I mean? And so, you mentioned the distraction of it all. That's a big deal, right?
Well, it's not just distraction. And shout out my mom. I love my mom to death. I love my mom. Her name's Rhonda.
Shout out to Rhonda.
Yeah. My mom used to always push in me that people are judging you based on what you're wearing.
Yeah.
And that what I would wear to church would reflect poorly upon my family.
Yeah.
As pastors and as deacons or whatever you want to call them,
right.
And so that puts, for a young believer, that instills fear where there should not be fear.
Right.
And that's the biggest thing, is that we're calling out what people are wearing, but it's not because we're better than anybody, or it's not because that we're judging you. It's partially out of insecurity of ourselves,
right,
and then it's partially out of respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's
sometimes whatever they're wearing might be all they have.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
And that's a great, just a great statement going into what I want us to look at scripturally, because here's the deal. There really is no dress code in Scripture. You're right, we do have somewhat of a code of conduct in coming in and not distracting and having a sense of order in the service. But when we look at what the Scripture says about who can come to God and who He expects to come to Him, Jesus said this in Matthew chapter 11, 28 through 30, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And there's a couple of things there that are really important when we're talking about this idea of etiquette in the church, especially a dress code etiquette. It doesn't say anything about come to me all who are weary or heavy laden and have the right clothes.
Right.
He says, come to me all who are weary and I will give you rest. But he says as well, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. I mean, what if you can't afford a suit and tie? There's a church right up down the street that I went to one time with some friends when I was a kid, and I came in wearing a polo and shorts, and I was asked to leave because I wasn't wearing a collared shirt, tie, and slacks.
Wow.
And I'm just like, holy cow, that's excessive, right? What if if that is the absolute best clothes I had and I just got turned away? Man.
What if you're going to play golf after church?
Right.
That goes back to that saying that we heard a few Wednesdays, it's been a while back, Christians try to clean their fish before they catch them.
Dude, that was so cool when Leslie brought that up. You don't have to clean your fish before you come to Christ. Like, you can't clean them while they're still in the water.
Yeah.
You catch the fish, you get them on land, and let the Holy Spirit do the cleaning, man.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
good.
think I've heard that one before. That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's come up with some good ones in our Wednesday night Bible study that we're all like, hold on just a second, repeat that. I got to write that down and reuse that later.
Trademark
that, yeah.
Leslieism.
Yeah, that Leslieism. She's a funny gal. What else, though, guys, do we want to address on this issue? Because for me, it's not just an issue about what's my preference as a pastor for my congregation. It's not just about what, a church is wanting as far as, well, I want to be able to wear a ball cap to church or whatever. It's really about, is this a barrier one way or the other? Because it can be. Is it a barrier keeping people from coming to Jesus when he's called them to him?
Yeah. That's an interesting, take on it, having that barrier mentality of it. It definitely, it will not only put up a barrier on your side, but they'll begin to build walls.
Yeah. And in my experience, it's always been needing to dress up.
Right.
But there's some people that won't step foot in a church that is all about casual and that.
There was some pastor in I don't know where he was, but he one Sunday he sat outside of his church dressed as a homeless man.
Yep. Yeah, I heard about that.
Everybody walked right by him
and didn't say a word.
Didn't say a word to him. Didn't offer him coffee. Nothing.
Yep.
These are big churches too.
Yeah.
And then he went up. As he walked in, the security team kind of gave him some hassle, but or maybe they were in on it. I'm not sure. But then he went up to the stage as that homeless man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, I'm your pastor.
Yeah.
How dare you treat me like this?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It talks about those that you do the least of them, you've done unto me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's how we approach people and treat people goes in hand with what we're thinking.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
if we truly believe that anybody can come to Jesus, then we got to act like that in the church, and we've got to allow that in the church as well. How's your cigar smoking, gentlemen?
It's good.
I'm enjoying it.
I was trying to decide how I would describe that, and I think meaty is probably it's very full,
Meaty.
And it's like biting into a steak. It's good. It's a nice strong cigar.
I haven't had a bad foundation.
No, not at all.
Funny story about the Big Sky guys. I had to almost convince them to let me get an interview with them.
Really?
Oh yeah, at PCA. They're great dudes.
They're wonderful guys. Yeah.
Wonderful guys. But it was funny because I think I was the first person to approach them, and they were like,
"Hey, wait."
And I was just like, "Hey, man, I want to get your sticks for the show, and I want to help. Get you. You guys are a small company. This is what we like to do.
Yep.
Do a full episode on you.
Yep.
And so I've got to reach out to them, but I'd like to do a full episode with them, but they give me some sticks.
Yeah.
I smoked the Cryptid, and that thing's awesome. And I've had this one too, and it's.
Yeah. That Corojo filler on that is amazing.
Yeah, they were not bad cigars.
We had a friend, I'm not going to say her name, but he tried Big Sky early on, when they first come out, and he said it was horrible.
Yeah.
So that sticks in your head before you even have one.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And we've talked on a previous episode about boutique cigars and the struggle that they have in getting quality tobacco as they get started. Unless they have direct access to the fields, it's really hard to get a quality tobacco. And he even said that was the issue with the original. But I mean, this is something I would definitely smoke on a regular basis.
I definitely
it is really good.
Now, I think on their cryptids, I think they're releasing because it's their LE, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong. But I think they're releasing different cryptids every year.
Very cool. Yeah, we'll look that up and see.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Speaking about interviews, and we're going to insert the interview right here, so enjoy our interview with Big Sky at PCA 2025. We're here with Brandon with Big Sky Cigars out of Montana. Big Sky, Montana, brother.
That's
yeah,
great.
Absolutely. One of the things we like to do as a channel is highlight some of the smaller brands that are making waves, doing big things in the industry. And we were turned on to you guys by one of our friends, and so we just wanted to have this conversation with you. Tell us a little bit about your company, what you're doing that's a little bit different. There's some ties with some fishing and stuff like that. Tell us about it, brother.
Well, Jess and I, we started Big Sky Cigar in 2018. That's when the idea happened. We were both worked in the oil industry. We were up in North Dakota, and we just wanted to do something when businesses. We always had business ideas. And so we were actually fishing in Montana. That's where we're both from.
Okay.
And we were smoking a cigar, and we asked ourselves, why doesn't Montana have its own cigar company? And we did research. There's a great, rich history of cigar factories in Montana. Back at one time, there was more cigars coming from Montana to New York than there was cigars coming from Cuba.
Oh, wow.
So the influx of building that infrastructure, there was a lot of people that loved cigars, and they had that history there, and we just built on top of that.
Yeah.
And so we came with the idea of Big Sky Cigar. Our brand is modeled after hunting and fishing, or the outdoors.
Yeah.
If you just love the outdoors in general. I wanted to show you one of our boxes. That's a box back of the Bitterroot River.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then so our core lines are named after rivers in Montana that we love to fish. We have the Yellowstone, Bighorn, Madison, Bitterroot, and Blackfoot, and then we have a couple other cool cigars that are that we love.
Mad Minnow.
The Mad Minnow.
Yeah.
If you haven't smoked the Mad Minnow before, you need to.
Okay.
It's a great 20-30 minute cigar. It's all long filler. It's got enough Lajero in there that you're smoking a cigar.
Got a little bite to it.
And it's got a bite to it.
Yeah.
It
Good.
does.
Good.
Yep.
Nice.
And so we released the chocolate minnow and the blonde minnow this PCA.
Okay.
So it's a Connecticut wrapper and a Maduro wrapper.
Excellent.
They're not flavored, but there's enough omertaokc in the filler that you get a cocoa taste in that chocolate minnow.
Yeah.
So it's
nice.
It's awesome.
Very good. And so those are your two big releases this year.
It is.
Okay, excellent. As far as being one of the smaller fish, a minnow in this big industry,
Right, yeah.
what are some of the challenges you guys have faced and overcome?
I guess one of the first things is two guys from Montana. We didn't have cigar contacts, right?
Right.
When we first wanted to get in the industry, there was a lot of doors that got closed to us
Yeah.
because people didn't know who we were.
Right.
So it took a lot of cold calling, a lot of just whatever you want to say, persistence.
Yeah.
And not taking no from anyone.
Right.
Yeah, we just kept knocking on doors, and getting our first blend out there, finding our first box factory, finding somebody to make our bands, partnering with the right cigar manufacturers that make great cigars. Because in the cigar world, you got one shot.
Yes, you do.
If you got a cigar that sucks and it's a dud, nobody's going to come back to that.
Exactly.
So we had to find the right factories to work with us, and we've done that with our partners. We don't have the big name master blenders like a lot of people that start off in the industry have. Our master blender is Carlos Sanchez at Tecasa.
Yes.
We are one of the two craft cigar companies I know that he works with. Everything else he does is with General.
Okay. Yeah.
And so what he tells us, he's like, Brandon, if I bring anybody else on, then it just takes away from you. He's like, I want to see Big Sky succeed.
I love that.
And what's cool about Carlos is he's an avid fisherman. and he's got his Grand Slam and sheep, so he loves hunting and fishing. So he vibes with us, so it's really cool.
Excellent. That's cool. That's awesome. So, as far as your brand, Big Sky, how many shops are you guys in? How easy is it to find?
So we're in close to 250 locations in 43 states across the country. Our national distributor is Meyer & Dutch.
Okay.
Locally, a lot of places can find us. If a brick and mortar wants to pick us up, they can go through Meyer & Dutch, or they can reach out to us, and we'll figure a way to make it work.
So what's your website?
BigSkyCigar.com.
Cool. Yeah, we were looking at that earlier, and there's some really good history of some of the stuff you talked about with the cigars going from Montana to New York and that kind of thing. It's over 100 cigar manufacturers in Montana back in the day, in the early 1900s. That's I love that. I love that rich history. And so if you guys want to pick up a Big Sky cigar, you can either do that online, go to the website, find a retailer, go to your local lounge and bug the crud out of the manager of the lounge to bring it in. I know that would do you guys a big favor. Maybe put it in more lounges for you.
Are you in Oklahoma yet? Anywhere in Oklahoma yet?
So we picked up 2 Oklahoma accounts. ZT.
Good. ZT, yeah. Todd Nafee and those guys over there. Yeah,
Todd stopped by this morning, and then somebody from Tulsa, I think.
Okay, good deal.
So
good deal. Look forward to having you over there, man.
You guys got to bug the guy at 2nd Street too.
Alan. We're good friends with Alan.
We have good connections with Alan.
Yeah, good guys. We've had him on the show a couple of times.
Cool.
And wonderful crew. Love those guys. We'll give them a hard time for you. So, Alan, if you're watching, man, we're going to talk to you about Brandon and Big Sky. So cool, man. We're excited to see what you're doing. We love it when the small guys come up and get established, man. Good luck with all that. Thank you for spending time with us. Yeah, enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Back from that interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We have had just a wonderful time talking with you, brother, about etiquette in the cigar lounge, about these fine cigars that we're smoking today. Anything else we want to say as we wrap up the show?
Go check out Sip, Suds, and Smokes. Everything good in life is worth discussing, as we like to say.
Yeah.
And
Where do you find it?
We're on every platform except for Spotify.
Okay.
We recently had to pull our product off Spotify because somebody had cloned us and was starting to monetize our products. And so we shut it down with Spotify, and we filed some things to get them shut down as well.
Good.
It's really weird, we've got 4 lawyers on our podcast.
Oh yeah.
And so
and that's the one they picked.
Yeah, and they really picked the wrong one. So,
yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
But yeah, it was great though. But yeah, no, thanks for having me. Absolutely. I love it,
man. Yeah. Anytime you're in Oklahoma City, man, come back and we'll throw you back on the show.
Anytime you guys are in Nashville, we'll do an episode.
I've got a nephew out in Nashville. I need to come visit him and stay at his
You said
place.
that 2 years ago.
I said that 2 years ago, didn't I? I did.
I
did.
that.
Yeah. I actually saw him at Christmas, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Hey, if you watch us and you like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tickle the bell icon to be notified when new videos drop.
Like this?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
just like that. You have to tickle it.
Gingerly.
Yeah, gingerly. Did you see what he just did?
That's racist.
That is. Yeah. That's the first time you've been accused of being racist on the show. It's going to stick.
I'll file a grievance.
Yeah. Get your lawyers.
Yeah, I know. He's
going to get those 4 lawyers on it.
4 lawyers on it. So.
Cease and desist.
If you got any prayer requests, send them to contactcigarchurch@gmail.com or stevecigarchurch@gmail.com. We'd love to pray for you.
Yeah, and if you're ever in Oklahoma City, come by our lounge. We're on South Santa Fe and 88th. Not Edmond.
No.
Found that one out.
And south side of Oklahoma City. Southsiders right here, buddy. And we'd love to have you come and smoke a cigar with us. But until next time, smoke a fine cigar to the glory of God. We'll see you next week.